What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it, answering your questions in another crunchy yet slimy episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewers. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first.
Before that, we want you to answer one of our questions. What is both crunchy and slimy?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
let us know.
Yeah.
The featured question is by Conrad Harris. What happens when people that travel through the warp get stuck there? Could this turn them into chaos followers?
Yes. It happened to the Eisenstein when they were traveling back to Terra.
Mm-hmm.
So like something happened to the Geller field, and then the Plague Marines were born. Death Guard turned Plague.
I like that sentence.
Death Guard turned Plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens way more often than you would think. It happens differently to different types of travelers depending on races and whatnot. You're right. Like Eisenstein or is it Eisenhorn?
Eisenstein.
I always get those two confused.
Mm-hmm.
The Geller field, it's a huge protection, but if you're in the warp without that, you're probably going to get besieged by chaos on all sides. You could get poxes from Nurgle. You could get tempted by Slaanesh. Khorne demons can invade you. Tzeentch can fling you outside of the warp, back in time, forward in time, or in the same place.
Basically, watch the movie Event Horizon.
Yes, I was about to bring that up.
That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary, gross, and I wish I wouldn't have seen that movie. It's like a 90s gore movie, though.
Definitely.
So it is very different.
It's got the dude from Jurassic Park. So
Yeah. There's no dinosaurs. Spoiler alert.
no Jeff Goldblum either.
No, so
Yeah. But I mean, in the instance for the Tau, going into the warp made them go crazy to the point where they were killing off their auxiliaries, the Kroot. They're like, you guys are demons. And they were like, not the same after that. So whenever you go into the warp, you're going to have a bad time. Think about when you were last playing basketball and you got really sweaty and then you needed to get in your car to go home. That uncomfortable feeling of sweat to back to usually leather is probably what it's like to be in the warp without a Geller field. Oh, hands down, the smell.
The smell doesn't go away. It's like, sardines in there. I want a book on that. Like, I want to know, maybe for Halloween or something, it would be cool if GW posted something of like, this is what happened to the Tau when they did the little skipping through the warp and stuff.
Yeah, it's assumed that it was Tzeentch because they said it's all psychedelic colors, but
And the cool thing about the warp is that there is no time, so it's all over the place. So they might have been there for years and years and years. So you have so much you have so much time to tell stories and just creepiness and stuff like that.
And it's like, even though Tau live about 40 years, you can downplay this by saying they went back in time and forwards in time and they were dead and brought back to life and all this. 'Cause it's the warp, anything can happen. There's vampires there.
There is. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Like when you're traveling through the warp, obviously it's the Immaterium, but you could be traveling through a certain area where it's like you're actually in the realm of Nurgle, you're in the gardens of Nurgle, or you end up in the Ash Waste where there's vampires and Psychnuans and all that nastiness.
Yeah, you could be in the butthole of Slaanesh.
Yep, because there are the butthole of that planet.
Oh, that's like a man in the fetal position?
Basically, yeah. Gross. But yeah.
Yeah, you have Psychnuan, or the Norwells are in there too. The warp is really weird.
It's super weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Mardi Gras before COVID.
Even during.
Yeah.
I'll say it's probably closer to it during. Because at that point, they're like, hey, I'm here for a fun time, not for a long time.
Aren't we all?
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one is by Mr. Virus 9898. Which Chaos God is the best to labor for? Which Chaos God offers the greatest rewards?
Tzeentch.
Lo crees?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like Tzeentch won't make you look nasty like Nurgle would. He won't make you fight when you don't want to fight. And he won't really put his things in your holes like Slaanesh would.
Right.
Tzeentch would just be like, hey, you see that guy over there? Trip him.
Please.
Yeah. his misstep will create a butterfly effect that'll make you become king. And you becoming king helps me because I'm going to get you usurped and I'm going to create a new follower of Zeech.
That's a really good story. Like, that would be... that sounds like a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah. So many good ideas. GW needs to get on it.
Mm-hmm.
This question comes from Kyle Elise. How was your last meal?
Whoa, do you know something?
Was it good?
We don't know. Our last meal? Are they going to execute us?
Initially, that's what I thought, and I got scared. But then I think what he means is like your last meal that you just ate. What was it?
Oh, it wasn't the Travis Scott burger.
That's just a big and tasty.
That's literally all it is.
Yeah.
I had some caldo with vegetables in it. It was alright.
I didn't eat anything today. I ate some... Oh, I ate the Travis Scott meal last night. That's funny. It was not good. It was not made with love.
Tisk tisk.
And then when I was placing the order, I was like, can I get the Travis Scott meal? And then the girl goes, you want barbecue sauce? I'm like, nah, can you give me buffalo? Do you want a Sprite? Nah, can you give me a Coke? And then at that point, you realize, like, I'm not even ordering the meal.
Yeah.
I'm just placing an order for a quarter pounder with... mustard and lettuce.
Mustard, lettuce, and I think a thing of bacon.
Oh, yeah. The bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon wasn't that good.
I don't know. Lately, I feel like there's a lot of, like, quote-unquote celebrities promoting, like, drinks and stuff. Because I'm a member at Dunkin', because I got to have my coffee.
Damn.
Got to be addicted to coffee.
You have to.
Yeah. And there's, like, this thing called the Charlie. All it is whole milk, roast coffee, and caramel. Like...
Charlie who? Like,
it's some, like, TikToker.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's big, though. Like, these people are making moves. For a rapper to have Mickey D's give you your own meal.
But it's literally just a freaking big and tasty. But
like,
no, it's not that. It's the Travis Scott burger.
And then he has merch for it. Like, I feel like, why didn't McDonald's do this before? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this should have, like, just dress him up as the Hamburglar now. Just finish it.
Yeah, it's like, why have mascots? There's celebrities out there.
Exactly.
Get Andy Milonakis.
Yes. Whatever happened to Andy Milonakis?
Oh, he's still doing a few things here and there.
Does he have a TikTok?
I hope so.
Next question.
Well, did we answer his question?
Yeah, he just wanted to know what we ate.
Yeah.
Travis Scott. I don't even know what music he, like, is he the one that goes, it's lit, like, all the time?
I don't know. I know he was in one song in the Spider-Verse soundtrack, but I never, like, paid attention. I just vibed to it.
You vibe.
Charles Winfield. Can a Genestealer infection change a blank human into a psyker? Can it?
I don't know. I'm just shaking my head. Say that again?
So if there's a regular human that gets all nastied up by a Genestealer, like, thing, can he become a psyker?
I think there, because if you have the predisposition to be a psyker, but it didn't activate, like your genes didn't like kick in, but then the Genestealer that infected you
steals those old genes and put on some night tight corduroys.
Then them corduroys are gonna be psychedelic corduroys because you just got the warp powers.
You got that bell bottom going.
Just make sure to keep it tight.
Of course, skin tight jeans. Jeggings is the way to go.
Definitely.
If we can't see your moose knuckle, you ain't wearing it tight enough.
Yep. That was a thing back in the day, huh?
Mm-hmm.
With all the skater kids, the Roar XD guys.
I was a skater kid. No, what was it? I was a skater girl. I said, "See you later, girl." I don't know. I'm trying to. Avril Lavigne. You guys probably don't know who that is.
She was a person.
I wonder what happened to her.
She's probably with Andy Milonakis.
I hope they're on TikTok.
TikToks.
Those two should come out with Dunkin' drinks and McDonald's burgers.
If Andy Milonakis comes out with anything, I want it to be doused in caviar.
Yeah. Doused. That's a word you don't hear very often.
Next question.
Angel Warrior 28. If the gray aliens were introduced into the lore of 40K as a playable race and the lore of the Warhammer 40K universe, how would you imagine they would be written into the 40K universe so as to make them a viable playable race and lore so that they could survive in 40K universe?
I think they're Tau. They're too similar. Like, because when I think of grays, I think technologically advanced. And those are the Tau.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Yeah, because like the Tau kind of have that like classic rounded shape.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
the mantas and their tanks, they're kind of smooth, and the quote unquote gray alien spaceships are like saucer like.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's what the gray one or the old ones will look like. Obese gray aliens.
Another cool thing too would be because like the whole theory is that the Greys are actually us from the future, and obviously our species has evolved and changed to look the way that they look because they're in space. So it would be cool to have them be like physically, like they can't physically be on a planet. They need things to like move around. So more. But then again, that's the Tau because they have drones and battle suits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Next question. I got one from. Oh no, we already kind of answered that one.
Simon Teese. How many of the Emperor's biological descendants exist, and what role do they have in the Imperium? That's not a thing anymore, because I think you're alluding to the Star Child, or the Star Children, which are the offspring of the Emperor. And they were like these really powerful psychers, and they were kind of important, but then that got retconned, and it's not a thing anymore. So, yeah, I don't think the Emperor has any children, or closest thing is you have the brides of the Emperor, but that's what the Sisters of Battle were called before they became the Sister of Battle.
Yep. That's a funny story too because they became brides of the Emperor after.
Gouge.
Yep. Screwed every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, because he said that I am the mouthpiece of the Emperor, and then he began to eat.
Yep. Like Bridget B.
Hey, no.
This question comes from Caboose NZ69. He asks, which Chaos God does Trump serve and how would the Emperor deal with it? I think we've answered this before and it's becoming more and more apparent. Nurgle.
Yeah. The complexion, the thickness.
The pandemic. Obviously he didn't cause the pandemic, but he's not helping it.
That's true. I don't know. Every time I think about like Trump, I just think of that one meme where like everything's on fire, and it's like, this is okay. This is fine. It's like, oh, California's on fire. Gotta stay president.
Yep. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like California, like I've seen pictures and
It's like orange out there, dude. It's like you're in the warp if you live in California.
there's a video of these people that got stuck on a lake. Like they were
I
surrounded
saw
by
that.
fire. That's crazy.
That's like Korn's Dominion right there.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I've seen the people driving through
Yeah, that's
and
really
fire
crazy.
on both sides. That's crazy.
Yeah. I saw a video of like, I think it was Australia when that was on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the dead animals and like
The
just
koalas
yeah.
with herpes.
That's actually a real thing, right?
Yeah.
That's rampant among the koala race.
Yeah. It's like 98% have. Is it herpes or
No, I think it
gonorrhea?
was one of the two. Will that be a Slanesh thing or a Korn or a Nurgle thing?
Definitely Slanesh because they feel pleasure. That's why they sleep so much. This question comes from Rabid Fanatic. If the Adeptus Mechanicus is switched sides, which Chaos God will they most likely go for? They'll probably create their own Chaos God. Or the Demon Forge itself.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a god, but it's not. It's its own thing, because if the Demon Forge ever gets attacked, regardless of what demon engine Chaos God it's been allied to, it has to defend the Forge.
Right.
Which that's really badass.
Next question.
This one's by Baskar Armor. Do you guys know that, regarding 40K, which area has a larger audience? Is it the tabletop fans or the lore fans? Because me personally, I was introduced by 40K by a random YouTube video one year, and I've enjoyed all the lore videos and the novels. But I've never ever seen a video regarding the tabletop.
From us?
Well, I don't think he said from us, he just said in general.
Oh,
But
so
like,
what's this question?
Who has the bigger audience? Is it the lore for 40K or the tabletop for 40K?
I honestly think that it's the lore right now, just because it's either the lore or the video games because of the way the algorithm works for YouTube. A battle report that's like 2 hours long
The retention
is not going to be there, whereas like you have some lore guys putting out an hour worth of content and shit. I watch that. Like, I just put it on in the background and I paint or, do my thing, dance.
Yeah. I definitely, each one has its own little niche. Like, I know people that strictly just model, paint, build. They don't really care about the lore. They don't really play the tabletop. They just do it for the hobby.
Yeah, I like the guys that do that. But like throw in like that feel like it's what was Casey Neistat type of thing.
Oh, like a vlog kind of?
Yeah. There's one dude that does that. It's like him and his wife, I think, or him and his girl. What's his name? I know there's Maniac, and then there's another dude. I forget his name. But yeah. What was this question?
Who has the larger audience? Who do you think?
Yeah.
You think it's the lore?
I think it's the lore, yeah.
I think in the beginning it was definitely the tabletop. Because you had mini
wargaming,
wargaming and how much of a giant they were.
Same thing with the other one. Is it tabletop? No. It's something war. Table of War or something like that.
Beasts of War?
Something like that, yeah. But yeah. Next question. This one comes from Austin Palmer. I made you a Primaris character Aztec style. How do I send it to you? Contact us on our email, onemindsyndicate1@gmail.com. We'll work something out. The post office is kind of crazy, though. Mm-hmm. They're fucking annoying. Thanks, Obama. Next question.
This one is by Bob J. Question. In front of the question. Hey, he finally did it.
He did it.
I recently got into 40K thanks to you guys, and I'm looking for books to read. I want to read everything about orcs. Any suggestions? The Beast. Because it arises.
Hard.
Yeah. In the morning, usually.
Yeah. For a while, it didn't. I got scared. I was going to see my doctor. And sadly, that is really the only book.
Yeah, if you want novels, then yes. But if you want like a generic overview, pick up the 8th edition codex and just go to town. Or even any older codex, really.
I really like the 5th edition codex. It has like a good story on Tuska the Demon Killer. God School story is pretty good. And it has WAAAGH.
Yup.
WAAAGH story is awesome.
Because he got that bike, and they go vroom, and Titans go boom.
Yep. It is amazing. I think if because I saw another comment or another question, I haven't found it again, but is this it? No. Yeah. But you're basically saying like if we were contacted by Black Library and asked to write a
novel?
book, yeah, I think I would choose an orc novel, but in the perspective of the orcs.
All the funny words and everything. That'd be a fun read.
Yeah. Or just like maybe a captive that has to like go around with an orc war boss or something, like Yarick or something. That'd be kind of cool. What about you?
I don't know, because I feel like when it comes to novels, sometimes they're not regarded as canon. Yeah. And it like goes against the lore and some things. But just to have an interesting book on like a Tau or some underdog being a slave in like the fighting pits of Kamara and their rise to become like the best fighter or to escape would be pretty cool. I
think it was a year or 2 years ago on Instagram for Kit Bash November. They did that. They did like create your own warriors that would fight in the pits of Kamara. And we created a 40 facts video on it too.
You still have that guy over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be one motto every day, I think.
That's hard work.
And I did one, and then I was done.
One a month.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a lot of work.
It is. Because you have to get the design done, find the pieces for conversion, get the right posing, build it, paint it, make the lore for it.
Yeah. This question?
Oh, go ahead.
This one comes from Brandon X360. Are you guys cousins, brothers, friends, ... lovers?
Yes. I mean, at this time and age, why say no to any of that? Just do it.
I know it's 2020. I mean, we're going to die next year. we're not making it out alive. So might as well just try it all.
Right. And speaking of which, Rooster Thwart has asked, what unexpected things in your lives have reminded you of 40K in one way or another? And also, favorite cocktail recipes? Recipes?
I think Nurgle lore always like has the most impact on me. I feel like
But that's your least favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my least favorite chaos god because of small holes. But like the whole concept of entropy and the concept of like decay and stuff like that, you see it all the time. Death is all over the place.
Yeah. Very depressing.
It is, but at the same time, so like he finds joy in the fact that everything comes to an end.
Right.
And I think there is...
it's that struggle to keep on living amidst everything that's going on that's like, oh.
Yeah. It helps out too with like work, where it's like it's the struggle of like having to get this done, but knowing that like there is like an end kind of thing.
That reprieve, like, oh, it sucks, but like once it's done, you'll have that.
Yeah.
It's done until the next.
What about you?
I don't really think of 40K that often, like outside of life. But I think it had to do a lot in the beginnings of 40K, where I would be like, riding my bike and I'd see this awesome building. I'm like, oh, imagine if like we dressed up as like the 40K guys and we were fighting around this building. And we used to do like airsoft and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, that's, it's like I'm playing 40K. I'm like a fire warrior and you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, those were pretty cool. I remember our bike rides and just seeing, like, because we used to ride our bikes through this river, and there was like a little hill, and on top of the hill there was a windmill, and then we would always say, like, can you imagine like a bunch of orcs just charging down from there? And then you picture that in your head when you're a kid, and it's pretty badass. Yeah. And
favorite cocktail recipe?
Oh, I really like a Sazerac.
Isn't that a Necron Overlord?
Yeah. Yeah. It's that if I ever create a dynasty, it's gonna be the Sazerac dynasty. Yeah, I like Peychaud's bitters. I like rye whiskey. So yeah, that's my go-to.
Yeah, what he said.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below.
As always, thank you for the questions, and sorry for the weird wah.
We what?
Did we wad?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We wad.
Gershwan.
Sound Alchemist. Wawing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.